Hi, welcome to houseflippingspreadsheet.com. This is a quick video tutorial to introduce you to the maximum purchase price calculator feature. For the purpose of this video tutorial, we're going to assume that you've already filled out the info sheet, which is where you're basically going to set up your rehab project. You've walked out to the site, you've filled out your inspection checklist, you've done your detailed repair cost estimate using the repair cost calculator, and now you're ready to evaluate the maximum purchase price of the property using the maximum purchase price calculator. As you can see here, we've got the after repair value for the property. This is going to be the value that you think the property is worth after you make the repairs to the property, or what you think the property is going to potentially sell for when you list the property. And then you have a section here called fixed costs. The fixed costs are the costs associated with buying, holding, and selling the property. The first section is for buying costs, so these are going to be costs such as your brokerage fee, title insurance, closing costs associated with your loan, and other closing costs that you might encounter for your particular business. All you need to do here is input your values into the yellow boxes. One thing I would like to note is the closing costs and points are the percentage of the loan value. So if you have a loan on the property to finance your rehab project, it's going to take the percentage that you input on the info sheet and multiply it by the loan value on the property. The next section is holding costs. These holding costs here were all brought over from the info sheet that you filled out previously. Right here on the projected costs and results. This information is calculated into a monthly cost basis and multiplied by the rehab schedule and closing period, selling period. So basically close to close. So it's going to multiply the monthly costs by the overall holding period to come up with the total holding costs. The selling costs are costs associated with selling the property, so you're going to have your seller's commissions, seller assisted closing costs, home warranties, title insurance, second appraisals, and maybe some other closing costs associated with the sale of the property. And then this area here totals all of the fixed costs, so it's going to be your buying costs plus your holding costs plus your selling costs to equal your total fixed costs. The next section that you're going to evaluate on your maximum purchase price calculator is the repair costs. This information was brought over from the repair cost calculator, so you're going to go ahead and do a detailed repair cost estimate using the repair cost calculator, and all that information is going to be pulled over to the repair costs section of the maximum purchase price calculator. As you can see, the dashboard gives you a breakdown by scope of work. It also gives you a breakdown by labor, material, and subcontractor. And then it also gives you a breakdown by areas of the property, such as your exterior, kitchen, bathrooms, flooring, and MEP items. Having all this repair cost information at your fingertips is a very valuable tool for any real estate investor who's trying to get an overview or an idea of where they're spending their money by scope of work, labor, material, or subcontractor, and then by different areas. So say for example, you know that on your average remodel project you're spending about $8,000 on your kitchen. Well, maybe you should go back and reevaluate your kitchen budget because it looks like we're spending about $9,500. So we could go back to a repair cost calculator and adjust that based upon our cost history. The next section is the total repair cost. So basically this number here, $43,675, is the total repair costs of all of these work items up here, labor, material, and sub, to come up with our total repair cost number. And again, this number was calculated using the repair cost calculator. You'll notice that we have a few buttons here, DIY'd and subbed. The repair cost calculator offers you a DIY feature which allows you to analyze your repair cost budget by DIY items. For example, if we go back to the repair cost calculator and we say that we're going to do the demo ourselves, we'll put an X here in the DIY column. And then that's going to give us some DIY savings for that item. Now let's go back to the maximum purchase price calculator. Now you can toggle between DIY'd or subbed. Right now we are subbing out every single work item on the project. If we click DIY'd, it's going to show us what our budget is for the project if we're DIYing the demolition on the project. So it also is telling us how much savings there are associated with doing that work ourselves. So this is a handy tool to analyze the overall maximum purchase price if you are going to be DIYing scopes of work to get a competitive advantage against some of your competitors that you might be bidding on a house for. So as you can see, if you sub out all the work, it's going to negatively affect your maximum purchase price, and somebody might be able to undercut you and get the property if they can offer a little bit more than you. So if you DIY it, then you obviously are going to be able to offer a little bit more for that property. The next section is the repair cost contingency. So we've got some buttons here that you can toggle through based upon the percentages. So if I want a 5% contingency on the project, I'm going to click 5%, and it's going to automatically multiply the total repair costs by 5%. Or if you just want to type in a lump sum number there, you can also do that. So if you want $5,000 in contingency, you can just input that there also. Or if you want 7% contingency, you can do that there also. The next item on the maximum purchase price calculator is rehab profit. And again, it's very similar to the repair contingency and how that calculates. So you can do it based upon a percentage of the overall after repair value. So the profit percentage is, let's go with 15%. So it's going to be 15% multiplied by 150, and you get 22,500. And again, you can also, if you just want to have $20,000 in profit, you can input that there. And then it's going to give you a nice analysis, profit per month, cash on ROI, return on investment, and annualized return on investment to make sure that the project meets your investment criteria. And then ultimately, once you go through all of these phases here and all these steps, you're going to come up with the maximum purchase price for the property that you can offer. And basically this is after repair value minus fixed costs minus repair costs minus the repair contingency minus the rehab profit to equal your maximum purchase price. And what you'll notice, we have this 70% rule ticker. And basically, 70% rule is a rule of thumb for many rehabbers out there who use the 70% rule to purchase properties before repairs. So as of right now, our maximum purchase price is sitting at 75%. So that would tell me if my 70% rule, if I were to go by the 70% rule, I might want to increase my profit on the project to get it a little bit closer down to 70%, and maybe even increase the repair contingency just to minimize our risk and make sure that we're buying at the right price. And then you'll look down here, this is basically a breakdown of how the project is going to be funded and financed. So as you can see, based upon the information that we input on the info sheet, we are going to have a loan of $115,000. We are putting down 20% of cash, and our cash outlay is going to be that down payment. Our total investment on the project is going to be $125,000. And that pretty much sums up the maximum purchase price calculator. As you can see, it's a must-have tool for rehabbers and real estate investors to quickly evaluate potential rehab deals and determine the maximum purchase price for a property. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact customer support or shoot us an email. So thanks for watching.